Welcome back, and we are going to talk about something different here, iterators and generators. These topics were not there in the ES5 or anywhere else, okay? So this is something new with the ES6. So iterators, I thought you are aware of iterators. It's something on which we can run a loop, iterator. Okay, so iterator have been used in many languages as the way of more easily to work with the collections of the data, like collections of the list, which is iterable, collection of set, which is iterable. So when couple of new array methods are introduced, like we have new collections objects, set, map, list, arrays. So we can iterate those all objects because we know the syntax. They have their own index. So array, we can do iteration on the array. We have a set, we can do iteration on the set. So these are called an iterable object because we can do the iteration on that. So there is another thing is generator, which is introduced with the ES6. What is generator? Generator is using some kind of a syntax. Let me just switch back to the generators. A generator is special kind of function that returns an iterator. So what is generator? In a single line, generator is nothing but it is just something which is returning as an iterator. Once we got the iterator, we can run the iteration, because using the iterator we can generate the iterable object and we can do iteration or a loop on that. Okay, generator functions are indicated with a star function. So this is indication what are the generator function. Generator functions are returned with a star symbol. So these all different such kind of functions are called generator functions, and these are the functions which are returning the iterator object. Okay, so when I'm calling this create iterator, what this create iterator is returning me, this is returning an iterator. This is the function name. This can be XYZ. Okay, this function is returning an iterator. An iterator is something which is iterable, and I can iterate that using the for loop or any kind of looping. So once the iterator is I have received, I can do a loop onto that, let I of iterator, and I can get the values. What this generator function is doing, this generator function is yielding the values 1, 2, 3. Okay, so these generator functions will be returning as some kind of a data, and yield function is like a return statement here. This function is returning 1, 2, 3. Now let's talk theoretically. Generator functions are indicated by inserting a asterisk after the function's keyword. The yield keyword is used inside the generator function to specify the value that the iterator should return when the next is being called. Okay, so how this generator function is returning me 1, 2, 3? How it is returning? This is returning because I am executing .next method on the iterator. So when you do iterator.next, it will give you 1. Iterator.next again, it will give you 2. Iterator.next, it will give you 3 and true. Now we don't have any other next value. So let me explain this one more time. So this is the iterator object. Okay, you want to extract the values which this generator function is yielding, that can be only done by this next method. So what I'm doing, iterator.next, to get the first value, it will return the value and then false, because still we have some other values from this function, until unless this done equal to become true and this value become undefined. Now we don't have any other value which this generator function is generating. So this is the end of the stream. Okay, so generator functions are returning an iterator, and after getting the iterator using .next method, we can get the value from that generator function is yielding. Okay, I hope now it is clear. Generator function is some new term, but it's not that complicated. Generator function is returning iterator represented by the asterisk sign, and it is for the returning the data, it is using this yield. And to get the value from this generator function, we always need to fire .next. Okay, so in the previous example, we were not writing .next, right? We were not doing anything. That is being done by this for of loop. This is for of loop. So internally it is also doing the same thing. Every time it is checking iterator.next. If that is returning some value and false, then there is some other value, then it will get 2 false, 3 false, then undefined true. It means that is the end. So these are generator functions which we have. Okay, so we talked about the for of method, all of the collections object indicating the array. So for of method is being applied to all the collections object. So for of method, where we are applying for of method? For of method we are applying on the iterator. Iterator object is something which is iterable. And what are the iterable objects? All collections, all array, all set, all hash, all map. These all objects are iterable. So you can apply a for of loop on all those objects which are iterable. If you don't have that object, then you can create a generator function. From the generator functions you can return the iterator. Iterator is iterable, so you can run the for of loop on the iterator. Okay, so here we are using the for of loop. Iterables are designed based on the new conditions of the ES6. The loop itself calling the next behind the function, in the background it is calling the dot next on the iterator and getting the values out of array or any kind of collection. So this is for of loop on the array. So this is something which is iterable because this is an array, so I can directly use for of loop here. So, and these are some of the methods: entries, values, and keys. We have already talked about these. These are some functions which are available in the arrays. Arrays.prototype.entries.values.keys. So these are some functions which can be applied to the collections, any array, any set, any map object. So these functions like entries will be returning the data, values will be returning the values, entries will be returning the key value pair, and keys will be returning the index. Okay, so something like this. We have the colors, tracking, and map object, and then we are executing we are trying to get the entry, we are trying to get the entries and key value pair. So entries will return the key value pair from that. Okay, so that is all about generator and iterator. This is one of the important aspect. You can also see another example, like I have one example in my code. We can also talk about that. So this is also a generator function. What it is doing, this is some kind of Fibonacci series. Okay, so this is a generator function which is using this symbol. Okay, so this is generator function because this is being represented by this. This is returning me some collection of the data. So how can I get the data from this? Using because this function is yielding some values out of it, then I am using the for of loop, and after every occurrence I'm using the dot next method in the background, and I'm getting the value from this Fibonacci series. So this is the code to which is returning the Fibonacci series to me from till 0 to 1000. Okay, so to generate this Fibonacci series, I have created a generator function. Then to get the value from the generator function, I am firing this for of loop till n is greater than 1000. Okay, so you can have a lot of examples. Like if I talk about some simple example, so I will be sharing this code. Let me quickly go to. So this is also having the same example, and that's not an issue. I will cover some more examples. So this is a readme file where you can talk about all the different functionality which we talked about. So thanks everyone.